Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Total War Attila Western Roman Empire campaign. So, last episode, the Huns decided to attack us, and we are going to go ahead and fight this battle now. We are fortified, so we should be able to hold the line pretty easily here. They've got a bunch of understrength cavalry units that they're going to be throwing at us, and a reinforcing army of full-strength cavalry units. But just about everything they have is mounted, and so they're going to have a pretty difficult time, I imagine, actually getting through. Obviously, mobility is helpful in an open field battle, but in a close, contested, sort of like fortified battle, it's not going to count for quite so much. They do have a lot of mounted archers, though, and that can cause us problems. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump on into this. Alright, so here we go. We have the enemy approaching from two fronts, one of them being the eastern sort of, I guess, facing of the fort here, and the other the southern. My archers are finally engaging, but for the most part these guys have just sat back and taken advantage of their missile range. Let's see, not really being tested over here. We do have a lot of enemies coming in though, and that is a bit concerning. It looks like this melee cav is going to test my pikes though, and that is a terrible idea for them. But I welcome their attempt. Let's get this Legio over here to help out. And let's see, you guys are... They should be okay there. I did put the stakes over here, so even though they're a little bit vulnerable to cavalry, I think they'll be okay. And then we do have two arrow towers firing on that position as well. Let's see, how are you guys doing over here? You know what? Jump on in there. You're welcome to join that fight, especially if the enemy general is going to commit himself to it. You guys going to go? Come on, you can do it. Alright, I think they're finally engaging. We got two units fighting over there. Wow, that pike unit got decimated.
Enemy units have been rallied. Our men
Okay.
flee the field of battle. This is a
That's going to be
painful display.
problematic because I don't have anybody that can get there quickly enough. So I might need to plug it with my cav. I don't want to throw the general in there. I'm going to have these guys move there, although they're really far away. I can actually, you know, afford to move them. So let's get you over here. And that cavalry will be on standby if they try to push through. I might have you help them out. They seem to be doing alright, though. Yeah, you know what? They're going to win that, so there's no point in moving you. Instead, I'll just back them off here to be sort of in reserve.
Our men have reached. Their general is dead. A lethal
Okay.
blow.
I need you to hit them. Keep them there if you don't mind. Legio, pull back behind the spears there. Yeah, I don't want you fighting all of those things. Just hold your ground long enough for the Legio to get there. Let's have you... Okay, never mind. Come on, move, move, move. You guys should be able to handle that. How are we doing? It looks like we've held them off over there for the most part. I'm going to turn the artillery around.
Our men are breaking off.
And we'll reposition those guys. So far that's looking good. Let's get you into Testudo so that they can't just rain arrows on you. And I think now we just have to wait out the archers, which might take a little while, but they can't actually hurt us. Or at least not significantly, so we'll just hang back and sort of let this play out. I'm going to switch out the pikes as well because we saw what they can do to pikes over there. So Legio, get up here and just make sure nobody comes through that gap. And you guys are going to avoid any casualties over here. Alright, there's our victory. So the archers weren't able to really do anything. Because these are all mounted troops, I won't really be able to run very many of them down, so we'll just end the battle here. Alright, so there's our heroic victory. Looks like the enemy lost 1,000 men to our 350. Not too bad, that's roughly 3 to 1. They did lose, it looks like 4 units in that army, and another, what is that, 8 it looks like. Another 8 units here. So we'll take the replenishment, obviously, and push them back across the border. So the Macedonians want to pay me to have a military alliance. I am definitely going to accept this. I don't even really care about the money. It's just nice to have another ally, especially one that I can direct. So yeah, we'll definitely accept that. Okay, some more hostile agent activity. It seems to be a pretty regular thing now. Yeah. Somebody's permanent office is up there. It looks like Vedius Agorius Praetextatus is not too receptive to our loyalty attempts here, so we're going to go ahead and castrate him in order to make him a bit more loyal. I don't recall, is he a governor or a general? Either way, I think this is the better trait. So his loyalty has been secured. And let's see, the Abdanians and the Picts have gone to war. That's fantastic for me up in Britannia. Let's see, there's our heroic victory. We've gained a advocate in our household, so that'll boost my authority as well as our charge bonus. And there's our military alliance. Okay. So let's see. Up here in Britannia, things have been pretty quiet. After we've dealt with the Caledonians, there hasn't been a whole lot else happening. Eventually, I'm going to try to subjugate the Picts and or the Abdanians, but for now, I'm not super concerned with that. Let's see. I don't recall why I moved you guys. I think somebody was posing a threat somewhere, but it looks like they are no longer doing so. So why don't you go back to Londinium for now? Oh, wait. No, we're not hostile with them. It would be red. So, yeah, I don't think that's an issue any longer. I'm not seeing any hostile armies in this area other than that one Hunnic army. And they did get an agent through, but I'm not super concerned about that. So let's see, you guys are almost replenished. Is there any mercenaries that you could benefit from? Thracian warriors, that would be kind of cool, but no. I wouldn't mind adding some pikes to this army. But for now, we'll just make do with what we've got. Eventually, I'd like to, once they're replenished, push them up here and basically have them fortify up here so that the enemy can't get through. Over here, you no longer need to be in force march stance. And then let's see. I would prefer to keep you fortified, to be honest, because if I can't get you into a city, that could be disastrous. So, let's try to hit this guy. I don't know if there's anywhere for him to retreat to. There apparently was. Okay, so if I force march you, can I get you back into town? No. Well, that's no good. In that case, force march back this way. And you might be in a pretty tough spot there. If they can come up with another army, aside from these two, that might be the end of Titus Polo, unfortunately. I guess what I can do is march you to there and fortify you there. That should deter them from attacking. At least I would think so. And then, let's see. Our borders look pretty clear. I'm not really seeing anything happening really anywhere, to be honest. Appius Odo, let's get you leveled up. I'm going to take the cunning and melee defense so I can get into some of these traits. You can stay right there. Nothing going on in Hispania. And the public order here appears to have recovered pretty nicely after that rebellion, so that's good. Africa remains to be our biggest issue. I was marching south on the Garamantians, but I don't know how well that's going to go. It looks like I can get there. It's just a question of, do I want to attack this turn? You guys are going to take some attrition as well. Let's see, I'll push you forward a bit. And they have a small force here. Looks like 10, 15. Okay, and then whatever's in the garrison. So another 5. So 20 in total. Can I match that? I've got 9 and 13. So I have 22. We'll not be at full strength by the time we get there. But I would kind of like to just deal with the Garamantians once and for all.
None will escape. We hunger for battle.
Let's see how this looks. We will be taking some pretty severe attrition here, but you know, it needs to be done.
Kennel dogs.
So it's saying that I don't really have a chance to win this, and I'm a bit curious as to why that is. It looks like they just have a bunch of desert spears and a little bit of cavalry. So I'm wondering if I could win this in a field battle. I would just need to keep my generals back, really. Obviously, he can't afford to take too many hits, and neither can this one. I mean, obviously, he's a little bit better off, but... let's see, they have around 1900. I'm deploying like 2100, so I do outnumber them. I guess, like, are these better than my desert defectors? Because that's really what it's going to come down to. They have a lot of them. Let's go ahead and we'll quick save, and then I'll try to fight this one, actually. I'm just concerned if I sit too long, we're going to deplete my non-desert troops, and then we'll weaken to the point where they can ride out and defeat us. So I'm reluctant to give them any more time. Alright, so the enemy has started to engage. I'm trying to do a bait and switch here. So I'm hoping that these spears can get those, or that cavalry, and I can get my camel riders the heck out of the way before they get me. So we're going to move in there. My infantry is pushing through my archers here to get into better position. I'm going to go ahead and charge in that cavalry to try to hit them from the side, and then you guys are hopefully going to be able to get out of there. Probably not, but I'll try to get you sort of out of the way, and then maybe swing back around to hit them. And then my reinforcements have just come onto the battlefield, so it's going to be a little while before they can help us. You guys did not pull that off, but if you jump in there, you can help out. Go ahead and just double down on that, and 2-on-1 over here should be a victory for us as well. Let's get you three up in their faces. I like my sword infantry against their spear infantry. I think that'll work in our favor. It looks like we got the better of them over here. So spears, I'm going to keep you right there in case they get any ideas. And it looks like you guys were able to defeat that cavalry, which is great. So do me a favor and sort of like re-establish your position over here. And you guys did not move nearly fast enough, but that's partly my fault because I didn't tell you to move. I'm going to try to catch that spear infantry off guard if I can help it. Let's see. Try to go hit them. I need you guys to deploy a little bit closer. Cavalry, you can move up to sort of continue to support them. I don't know when these guys are going to make it. Come on, move faster. They're getting flanked by that cav. That's no good. I need you to get in there. All of you guys target him. Let's see. Use fire arrows, archers, if you don't mind. But yeah, target them. And if you guys can maybe go help out over here. The defectors should be able to hold fairly well. I mean, they're pretty sturdy infantry. You can come back. I don't know why you just stopped. I guess that's probably my fault as well. Let's have you try to flank them. And it looks like my range units are doing a pretty good job on the general there. If we can kill him, that will be a pretty large boon for us. Yeah, he is getting hammered. And this entire unit has still yet to join the battle in any semblance. Okay, you guys need to get in here. They're all starting to break, so that worked pretty well. I think what I'll do is, yeah, you guys are fairly close. I might try to push through and take this and force them to come fight me for it, because this will be pretty easy to defend, especially with the troops that I have on the battlefield. They'll be charging me with spear units, which is generally a pretty terrible idea. So, defectors, do me a favor and get in here. Cavalry, feel free to run these units down, because I don't want to be dealing with them. Actually, this is a siege, isn't it? So it doesn't matter. I don't have to run them down. In that case, let's have as many of you dogpile this capture point as possible so that we can get rid of it quicker. And I'm going to send in... Whoops. I just want the ranged units. There we go. I want you guys to set up in here, or something to that effect, so that we can put as much fire on these guys as they approach as possible. This is actually going to be fairly easy to defend because they can only really attack it from 2 directions. Okay, good. That's 1 tower down. I don't love the thought of it, but I'm going to send this cavalry to go deal with the other capture points, or excuse me, the other watchtowers, just to ensure that I'm not taking like tiny little bits of damage every once in a while. That might be out of range, but I'm not going to just assume that. I'll make sure I get rid of it. And I need you guys to move in as well. They're going to be exhausted when they get there, but they'll have time to rest. So I think it'll be alright. Okay, so the enemy's begun to engage my infantry at the gates here, or the entrance, or whatever you want to call it. Actually, I probably should have put some spears there, but I think we'll be alright. Let's commit you guys to that fight as well, just so they're not getting completely overwhelmed. But I think we'll be okay. You guys need to, I think, redeploy there. And, oh, I've got a bunch of archers just hanging out. In that case, I'll try to get you guys somewhere where you can actually fire. They should be fine right there, because they can sling out that way. Oh, you guys went a little bit too far with that. But okay, we'll fight you down there. Maybe we won't. Maybe we won't. Okay. In that case, give me all of you. Push back to about there. And then if I could get this unit right here, that would be great. Hopefully they get there in time. That is Firmius Figula. We want to keep him back if we can help it. I might use him to throw some buffs, though, so actually I'll move him up a little bit. We're losing one of those units. It's a Desert Chieftain. I guess that makes sense. He's going to push through, though, so you guys are going to have to stall him. And I guess I'll just commit all of my melee infantry over here, since it looks like they're not even going to bother approaching from the other side. But once they're all committed, I'm going to send my cavalry around and go ahead and flank them. In fact, I should start doing that now, because it'll take them a little while. So there they go. In the meantime, it looks like my defectors are getting defeated over here. Go ahead and charge in, since swords should beat spears in straight-up combat. Oh, we won. Very nice. Let's see. Firmius, I need you to throw some fear on them. And you guys are all welcome to just kind of join the melee while the archers take care of the rest. And let's see. You guys are taking a little bit of a while there. So, yeah, we'll have the cavalry come in and flank these guys if we can. You know what? You might need to join that fight, otherwise it might take a while. Alright, so things are going pretty well. I've had all my archers fire into the backs of these guys that decided to turn and face us. Now I'll go ahead and try to get a flank on these spearmen. They haven't really gained any ground. What I will do, though, is all of you guys are going to go ahead and go into melee mode, so I don't have to worry about friendly fire. And you just get back there. And that's our victory. A heroic one, sweet. So down they go. And we'll have to decide what we want to do with them here. So they've been utterly defeated except for this guy's army, but they were in... Actually, if they weren't inside the walls, I don't think they get crushed. So we'll see what happens with them. Do I want to occupy this? Not really, to be honest. I can subjugate them, which I think is what I'm going to go ahead and do. and that will make them my puppet, so I no longer have to worry about crushing that army. And then once we've sort of got Africa back under control, calm things down, I'll probably turn the Garamantians loose on these guys and sort of let them expand their territory. Unfortunately, Garama was taken by the Eastern Romans, but it looks like it's going to suffer a rebellion fairly soon. So chances are we might be able to have that rebel and eventually have the Garamantians take that as well. And it looks like the Eastern Romans might be moving on Makomadis over here, which it's actually, to be honest, if they do that, I'll probably just let Sabrata fall and this entire province can go. I don't really care. We have enough food to suffer losing that. What kind of stuff can I levy here? Desert Spears? Honestly, that's worth doing because they are going to be resistant to desert attrition, which is something that my Roman units are very, very receptive to. So we'll start working on that. Desert Spears, but those are mercenary ones. So yeah, these will be superior in that they are just as good as mercenary spears, but significantly cheaper. And so we'll probably levy quite a few units from these guys, because that definitely is going to solve our issue of desert attrition if we can build up an army out of those troops. So let's see. I think we're actually out of time. So thing is, I'm not sure how much of those battles I'm going to cut. So it could end up being fairly short. The video, that is. So let's finish upgrading some provinces here, and then we'll maybe end it. These are both getting upgraded, so that should deal with the public order issues. I could also throw another building here, but I would probably be better off letting this tick up to 7, and then building some sort of sanitation building here. I think that's what I'll do, because I think between these two I won't need public order anymore. So sanitation is going to be the bigger issue at that point, because these are both not great. So I'll just leave that be for now. Over here we're at -1, but this is about to upgrade, so I think everything is taken care of there. Why do we have wheat fields? How did we end up with wheat fields here? I'm going to ignore it because the fertility here is still fairly high, but at some point I will need to convert that over. The sanitation here is also really bad, but there's not a ton I can do about it. But public order will eventually take care of itself there, so I don't need to really intervene any further. I think we're alright over here too. Makomadis is, I think, still under siege. Yeah, so I can't do anything about that. Things are actually starting to turn around. So in that case, let's take a look at what buildings or what areas are we going to be doing the most recruiting from, because I think we need to prioritize upgrading recruitment buildings there. So skirmisher range, let's get this one up to 4. That's going to hurt our income a little bit, but it'll allow me to recruit Ballistari, which is a big deal. Also, I think sanitation improvements are a good idea. We'll upgrade that lead mine for the hell of it. And then let's go to... Why do I keep trying to click and drag? I think I've been playing too many games that do that. Sanitation here is really bad, so let's upgrade that. We're finally getting to sanitation, because public order is sort of under control. I've almost got the food here to sort of take care of itself. Rome is no longer a huge drain on our food. Due in part because I got rid of the Colosseum. It's just an amphitheater now. I'm not sure I want to upgrade any of that. So let's see. This looks to be one of our primary fronts. So that's going to be 5,000. That would be really helpful, though. Being able to recruit Ballistari here would be a big deal. So can I free up or get a couple hundred gold, I guess is the question. Alamans, still getting worse. As soon as the Franks convert, man, we'll be in pretty good shape, but they are being pretty damn resistant to it. I think we've got them up to like 70% Christianity at this point, but they're just not having it. That's improving pretty considerably. Will they accept a trade agreement with me? No. How about a arranged marriage?
And so serve our peoples.
Let's see.
Be
What
most
about you
welcome.
guys?
Your words will find an
No.
attentive audience.
Join war against, will you join war against the Huns? No, okay. I'd have to probably pay them to do any of that. Markomans. I wonder if they'd pay me for a non-aggression pact.
Greetings. Now speak plainly, for we...
No. No, they would not. Pontus, we have a non-aggression pact with them. They're at war with a lot of people, though, so I don't want to take that up to an alliance. Let's see.
You will find me a willing and attentive audience for your speech. Give tongue
That's
to
not
your
gonna
words,
help.
and I will answer.
Can I just ask them for 800? No. Man. I don't know how we're going to manage this. How do they feel about an arranged marriage? Who would she be marrying? The Emperor. Okay. Well, that would get me my money, so unfortunately I think I'm going to have to do it. Really? Okay. Well, if it doesn't get me my money, then I won't. Nope. In that case, I think we're going to have to cancel a building elsewhere, but I think that's actually more important than anything else we're doing, because, frankly, being able to recruit troops where the battle is happening most is kind of a big deal. Especially Ballistari, which are really, really effective units. So with all the upgrades taken care of, I think we'll end the episode here. We've sort of got Africa... I mean, like, we've done some effective damage control. The Garamantians are now on my side, as long as we can get their relations with us up to the positive so that they don't abandon us at the first opportunity. And then we can use them to sort of help us retake what we have lost, as well as get rid of some of the other factions in Africa that aren't really friendly toward me. And yeah, then we may even be able to just focus our efforts on the Huns and helping out the Eastern Romans, which is something I haven't been able to do thus far. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Total War Attila with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.